Copper Steele, you're packing your gun. Seattle Fox says your run has begun. You think the case is closed, the bad guys in chains, but I'm still bleeding from the mess you made. You solved it all, yeah, you cracked the code. Now you're slipping out quiet down that same old road. I hear your boots on the fire escape, midnight breath and the lies you fake. You swore just one night turned into years. Now Jasmine's ring is burning holes in your ears. Don't kiss me goodbye, Copper, don't you dare. Don't leave me standing in this cold, wet air. Your mouth tastes like leaving, like sorry and lies. If you're walking out, look me dead in the eyes. Just don't kiss me goodbye. I was your shadow, your loaded dice, your late night whiskey, your only vice. I kept your secrets, I warmed your bed, while she waited faithful with that gold on her hand. You called me trouble, called me your flame, but trouble don't beg a man to stay. Rolling high, rolling deep, you're chasing ghosts down these one-way streets. Jasmine's memory might own your soul, but these sheets still smell like rock and roll. Don't kiss me goodbye, Copper, don't you dare. I ain't some loose end you can leave in your rearview mirror. Your lips are a promise you never keep, so if you're going, go clean. Just don't kiss me goodbye. I ain't asking for forever, I ain't that naive. I just want you to feel me when you try to leave. Let the guilt hit harder than the rain ever could. Let my name taste like blood in your mouth for good. You solved every case but the one in this room, so be a man for once. Don't lie with that kiss of doom. Don't kiss me goodbye, don't soften the blade. Don't pretend that you're sorry for the choices we made. Walk out proud, walk out cruel, walk out dry. But whatever you do, Copper Steele, don't kiss me goodbye. Don't you dare kiss me goodbye. Seattle keeps calling your name out loud, but I'm the echo you'll never drown out. Go back to your angel, go back to your chains. I'll still be the devil in the pouring rain. Just remember one thing when you're driving away: you never kiss me goodbye today.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Hello, hello, and welcome in, everybody. This is kind of a different live stream than I normally do. And there's a good reason for that, because let me adjust my microphone here. There is a very good reason because I am so excited to share with you one of my other passions, and that is the ability to write, to craft stories. And so, as people are getting in here, as people are getting, I'm streaming to TikTok, I'm streaming to Facebook, I'm streaming to YouTube, and I'm streaming to X. My YouTube channel I'm streaming to is Mystique Nor Scribbler. And so this is the virtual launch for Don't Kiss Me Goodbye, hardboiled detective story written by yours truly here in the Pacific Northwest. And my name is Timothy Berman, and I'm going to celebrate with you, and I want you to celebrate with me the launch of this novel, this newest novel of mine, Don't Kiss Me Goodbye. And it's probably going to be the first in the Steele and Savage mystery series. Now, I've been writing for a long time. We're letting everybody get in here to watch this live. So go ahead and give a shout out of where you're watching from and what you like to read, what you are interested in reading, what is on your to be read list. And we're going to have some fun for the next hour or so. And yeah, so we're just getting everybody in here. Just drop your thoughts, share your thoughts in here. And we've got some really good fun stuff planned. So check it out. I'm streaming, like I said, to Facebook, to X, to YouTube, and to TikTok. And as you can see on the ticker there, you can follow me on my social medias. And we are going to be talking about Don't Kiss Me Goodbye. This is the launch for my novel. And we're going to talk about how this helps us. Well, I'm sorry, I'm getting back into my devotional mode there. But if you love reading, if you love crime, if you love mystery, and you want to curl up with a good book, well, this might be the one for you to add to your library. It is available on Kindle. It is available on Amazon as well as the print edition. However, what I will be offering you, as you can see, there's a QR code right there. You can scan that. You will get a digital bundle, and you will get, and I'll explain what that digital bundle includes. You will also get a signed author copy through me. I will put in the order once I get enough orders in, and then I will get those signed and shipped out to you accordingly for both US and those who are in Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and I believe United Kingdom are the only international markets that I've looked into that I will be able to send this out to. So everybody in TikTok land, welcome in. And like I said, share where you're watching from and what you enjoy reading. Hey, Lori, thank you over on Facebook. Up there in Alaska, yes. So get this shared out too. Get people to come in here too as well. And we're going to go over. So I have been writing for quite a long time, probably since high school. And so I eventually was able to publish my first novel, which is Morning Ellen. And that was back in 2006. There is actually a copy available on Amazon right now for Morning Ellen. And I also have a couple of print editions of that novel on my shelf. And I have one of the only surviving drafts as well for that. And that book was my first dip into getting something published. And it is a really good. And one of the things I'm doing is I will be actually looking to rewrite that and update it because there's a lot of stuff that needs to be done. Typesetting was off on that and everything else like that. So I grew up reading on pretty much anything I could get my hands on that would captivate my interest. And so whether it's westerns, whether it's fantasy, whether it's sci-fi thrillers, and of course, my go-to has always been the mystery, the crime, the all of those fun stuff. And later on, I came across Mickey Spillane's Mike Hammer series, I the Jury, things like that. And I fell in love with the detective noir, Dashiell Hammett, Maltese Falcon, um, Raymond Chandler, all those. And then Ridley Pearson's in the early 2000s, I came across Ridley Pearson's novels, the Lou Bolt series, and fell in love with those. And then, of course, Lisa Jackson, Lisa Gardner, and many others. Lots of Louis L'Amour books. I've read a lot of the Louis L'Amour books, westerns, and even some steampunk and some romance novels. And so, uh, yeah, the best education for learning how to write is to read people that you enjoy um, reading. And so, with that, Don't Kiss Me Goodbye began as a handful of hardboiled short stories. The very first one that I wrote was called A Lost Kitten Found. And then I wrote, a variety of different short stories, just trying to, you know, play around with some ideas with the hardboiled genre, what to write, who to, what it would contain. And so these were over the years. And then it led up to 2019. And it's now this past year, it's Pro Writing Aid did the Novel November, which replaced the National Novel Writing Month thing that was always occurring every November. So, Novel Writing Month was something that if you wanted to challenge yourself, the goal and idea was to craft a 50,000 word manuscript, rough draft, and get that completed within 30 days. And it usually starts midnight November 1st and goes until midnight November 30th. And so this manuscript, this storyline actually was my 2019 National Novel Writing Month venture. Originally, it was titled Kiss Me Goodbye. And as I was working on the drafts and everything, I changed the main character's name. Um, Multiple times, changed the female character's name, the supporting character, multiple times, and then eventually settled on "Don't Kiss Me Goodbye." And at the time I was writing it, I was actually working the field as a drug and alcohol counselor, and the story idea came about of what if it was a case um, that's difficult to solve, and this detective is called in to help find the answers, to address it. And so it sets in Seattle. In fact, the back of it, I have where it says Seattle shadows never sleep. Copper Steele swore he'd never return. Now back into Seattle, where classic Noir grit meets modern tech, a missing persons case pulls him into a deadly underbelly of corruption and decay. Forced to partner with his ex lover, Shania Savage, Copper must navigate rain slick streets and bird secrets, but the closer they get to the truth, the deadlier the stakes become. Shania might be his salvation or the heartbreak that finally destroys him. Can Copper solve the case before it buries him, or will he kiss Shania goodbye one last time? Do I make a lot of song zalatis? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Not here to talk about anything about Christianity or Anki. I'm not here to talk about religion or anything like that. This is a launch for my book, Don't Kiss Me Goodbye. And that's right there, the book right there. This is what I have in hand. So When uh, I sat down and wrote this, I wanted to present a story that reflected current cultural situations and um hang on, a bit distracted here. So this is part of an ongoing, and as a writer, and if you know writers, we can't just stick with one storyline. We can't stick with one storyline because I am working on, and I have been working on for over the years, working on redoing Morning Ellen. And so I'm in the process of doing that. And just so you know, here is the original first edition of Morning Ellen. That was the first book I published in 2026. And um, then I'm working on last year, not this past 2025, but I think 2024, 2023, I got an idea to write a story about a man's journey of redemption and restoration uh, because of the throes of alcoholism. And that is now titled Winds of Redemption. And so I'm working on that one. And then this past year, I have been working on what I thought was going to be another novel. And that novel is titled Lost Girls. And I started playing around with the idea back in 2024 for that. And it started with me just kind of dipping into the whole AI image generation where where I was like, what happens if we took the storyline from Lost Boys, which is an 80s cult classic, and changed it to where instead of a single mom with two young boys, it's a single father with three girls. And we keep the same uh idea of, vampires, and we put it into a faith-based storyline and structure and world building. And so I created an image. And then based on that image, I got a storyline. And I was thinking about it. So before I even wrote anything down, and then finally this past November for uh, novel November, I wrote out. I'm still working on getting that completed, but it is called Lost Girls Eden's Descent. And so that one is now turning into a trilogy. So I have that. That's a faith-based gothic no kind of storyline. So I kind of consider myself a genre bending author. I'm not sticking with one specific genre. Most authors typically do. And so I'm excited to present this to you. Now, there is other things going to happen. I do have story ideas to carry on the Copper and or the Steel and Savage series. Going to make this into like a series. I don't know how many of that's going to be there, but yeah. So let's get into the whole point of this here, because if you see, I've got the QR code here. All you have to do is scan that QR code, and that will allow you to order this bundle. So there's a Don't Kiss Me Goodbye bundle. Um, and before we get into the reading of it, I want to share with you that what you're going to do is when you scan the QR code, you are going to get a limited edition signed copy of Don't Kiss Me Goodbye by yours truly. And it is only going to be available for those who are in the US, those who are in Canada, UK, and New Zealand and Australia. Um, and so I had to research how to get this all set up to do that. So yes, you scan the QR code, it'll take you to Stripe, and you can do that through that. And so, and I think there is a place that you could put in there if you want me to put a two, you know how authors do where you just want it to you or whatever. So when you order through the QR code, you will get to that. And when you order direct, your support goes right straight to me. It doesn't go to Amazon. It is available on Amazon, Kindle edition, as well as the print edition. So if you order it through Amazon, you'll still get a copy. However, you won't get a signed author's copy from me personally. So this is your opportunity to get a personalized signed copy of the book, Don't Kiss Me Goodbye. And I retain majority of the profits. Now, one of the things that I want to do is that 25% of all of the sales generated through this book launch will go towards to help out a hospitality house ministry where we provide housing for men who are struggling in their faith, struggling in their lives, and getting them situated. I'm the program coordinator for that. And so we do all this fun stuff to work with men to help them get housing, help them become self sufficient, and get plugged into the necessary resources within the community. And so I want to kind of give back to that since it's been quite helpful for me. And so when you order by using the QR code, it will be a bulk print run that you can then get through. And it will help with this series. It will help me out. And tonight, this is going to be some additional bonuses for those of you who are here live. If you're watching replay, you still will be able to order, but once I reach 30 orders, then uh, get those sent out. And so Kindle and Amazon prints are absolutely available if that's your preferred method. However, if you want something personal, if you want something collectible and directly supporting my work and ministry, you would go ahead and help out by scanning that QR code and getting your author copy today. And so with that said, let's go ahead and let's get a reading done here. And I'm going to read the first chapter just to kind of prime the pump here to get you excited, okay? Because let's get into the story and I'll read chapter 1 of Don't Kiss Me Goodbye. There's going to be no spoilers beyond this point, just enough to give you a taste of the world of Copper Steele walking into. And so let's go ahead and do this. Chapter 1, The Weight of Shadows. The ferry, Kittitas, shuddered against the swell of Puget Sound, its engines thumping rhythmically, like a heartbeat echoing against the gray sky. You leaned against the cold metal railing, the wind tousling your hair, your dark trail duster, and your fedora clinging stubbornly to your head. The salty tang of the sea mingled with the scent of impending rain, an ominous prelude to the unsettled atmosphere swirling around you. You took a long drag from your Palladino, the smoke curling up and dissipating into the air, mingling with the memories that began to surface. Memories of a life you had walked away from, a life that had clawed its way back to you with a phone call from Derek Stolsky. The retired detective's voice had been steady, yet the urgency was unmistakable. Copper, it's a cold case gone hot. A junkie's dead, and it's not what it seems. I need you back in Seattle. 8 years had passed since you had stepped foot in this city, and yet the skyline loomed large, a tangled web of glass and steel that seemed to mock your return. You tightened your grip on the flask hidden in your pocket, feeling the familiar burn of whiskey as you took a swig, hoping to drown the echoes of Jasmine Blade's case that still haunts you today. Hey, man, you got a smoke? A frail young man approached, his eyes sunken and desperation etched into his features. You glanced down at the pack in your hand, hesitating only for a moment before you slid a cigarette out and handed it over. Take it easy, you muttered. watching him fumble with the lighter, the flame flickering like hope in a dying world. He nodded, mumbling a thanks before shuffling away, leaving you alone with your thoughts once more. The world around you pulsed with the chaotic sounds of urban life, laughter, honking horns, and the soft lapping of waves against the hull. Yet you felt detached, an observer in a play where you had lost your role. As the ferry docked, the thrumming of engines ceased, replaced by the shouts of passengers eager to disembark. You joined the throng, stepping onto the gangway, the chill of Seattle's damp air washing over you. That's when you saw her, a striking woman with thick, fiery, silky red hair cascading around her shoulders, her midnight blue eyes locking onto yours with an intensity that sent a jolt through you. Copper Steele, she asked, her voice smooth like honey, yet holding an edge that piqued your curiosity. Depends on who's asking, you replied, trying to keep your voice steady despite the flutter in your chest. I'm Shania Savage, she said, extending a hand, her smile both inviting and enigmatic. I was hoping you'd show. You shook her hand, feeling the warmth of her skin against yours, a stark contrast to the chill in the air. You've got me at a disadvantage. I didn't expect to see anyone, let alone a former detective. Old friends are worth a surprise, she quipped, her gaze lingering on you with an intensity that sent a shiver down your spine. Let's get moving. I'll call a ride. As she pulled out her phone, the bustling atmosphere of Pike Place Market enveloped you, a cacophony of voices and vibrant colors. You walked side by side, the air thick with the mingling scents of fresh produce, roasted coffee, and something else foul that twisted in your gut. Do you smell that? You asked, glancing at her. She nodded, her expression shifting momentarily. Yeah, it's been getting worse. I think it's coming from the docks. Drugs, you ventured, your heart racing at the implications. You had been away too long, and already the familiar dread was creeping back in. So, kind of give you a little bit of a backstory here. This is I classify this as speculative fiction. So, we are entering into a world of Seattle in the 1940s. However, it's modern technology. So, think of smartphones with writer apps, all the food delivery apps. So it's speculative fiction because it's taking place in the 40s after World War II. And it is basically with modern day technology that we would have in the 21st century. So it's blending those two eras into one. All right, let's go ahead and continue. So, could be, she said, her eyes narrowing as she watched a group of men loitering by the crates. There's been a rise in overdoses lately. The city's struggling. Sounds like a case for a detective, you said, trying to keep the conversation light. But the weight of her gaze made your heart clench. Or a couple of them, she countered, her smile returning. Yet you sensed an undercurrent of tension. You couldn't shake the feeling that this meeting was more than a mere chance. You continued walking, the sounds of the market fading in the background. As you focused on her, how the sunlight caught the golden flecks in her eyes, how her laughter rang like a bell. So, what's the deal, Shania? You're not just here for a reunion. She hesitated, then bit her lip, revealing a bit of vulnerability. You're right. There's been a homicide tied to the missing person case. I thought you might want to help. Diving right into the deep end, huh? You said, a half smile breaking through your uncertainty. Life's too short for small talk, she shot back, her tone playful, yet there was an edge to it, a seriousness that weighed heavily in the air. You both stopped at the edge of the market, the vibrant stalls bustling with life, but your mind was elsewhere, focused on the growing shadows of danger surrounding the case. Who's the victim? Josephine Archer, a former addict, was found dead in an alley behind a bar. It's not just her death, it's what it represents. And with the mayoral campaign heating up, we can't let this get swept under the rug. You opened your mouth to respond, but before you could, she leaned in, her lips brushing against yours in a kiss that felt both electric and dangerous. Your mind whirled, caught between the pull of her warmth and the gnawing dread that filled your gut. Wow, you said, pulling back, your heart racing. That was unexpected. Just a little motivation, she replied, a teasing glint in her eye. You're back in Seattle, Copper. Let's not waste any time. Before you could respond, she turned tapping her phone. My ride is here. Come on. The car pulled up, and as Shania slid into the back, you felt a strange mix of excitement and apprehension. You followed her inside, the scent of leather and something floral wafting around you. As the driver pulled away, you glanced out the window, watching the cityscape blur past. What's your angle? You asked, the question slipping out before you could restrain it. Angle, she echoed, a smirk forming on her lips. You think I'm some femme fatale luring you back into a life of crime? Something like that, you replied, your gaze unwavering. I know the game, and I know when someone's hiding something. She laughed, a sound that brightened the atmosphere yet left a lingering question in the air. You're not wrong, but I'm not your enemy. We're on the same side. Then tell me the truth, Shania. You lean closer, your voice low. Why now? Why me? Because, she said, her expression turning serious. You're the best at what you do. In this case, it's personal to me. I can't let it slip through the cracks. You studied her, searching for the truth behind her midnight blue eyes. And the kiss, was that just part of your plan? Her laughter faded, replaced by a weighty silence. Maybe it was to remind you not to kiss me goodbye again, she said softly, her gaze locking onto yours with an intensity that left you breathless. The car pulled to a stop outside a quaint coffee shop, the aroma of freshly brewed coffee wafting toward you. Let's get some air, clear our heads before we dive into this, she suggested, her tone shifting back to lightheartedness. You stepped out, the rain beginning to fall, gentle droplets dancing upon your skin. The world around you felt alive, and yet beneath it all, the shadows loomed closer. As you entered the coffee shop, the electric crowd buzzed with the conversations, laughter, and the comforting clatter of cups. You found a small table in the corner, the dim light casting a soft shadows around you. Coffee or something stronger? Shania asked, her eyes sparkling with mischief. Coffee for now, you replied, your mind racing. I need to think. About what? She pressed, her curiosity palpable. About how we're going to untangle this mess, you said, watching her intently, and about the past I thought I'd left behind. Her expression softened, the playfulness slipping away. You don't have to face it alone, Copper. I'm here for you. You took a deep breath, the weight of her words settled over you. Thanks, but I can't shake this feeling. Something's off. The city feels different, darker. Maybe it's just a ghost of the past coming back to haunt you, she said, her voice low, but we can't comfort them together. You nodded, the tension in the air palpable as you both considered the shadows looming ahead, and as you sipped your coffee, the bittersweet taste mingling with the uncertainty of the path before you. One thing became clear. You were about to step into a world where danger lurked at every corner, and the stakes had never been higher. With Shania by your side, you felt a flicker of hope amidst the encroaching darkness. But deep down, you knew that facing the past would require more than just courage. It would demand the strength to confront the demons that had been left unresolved for far too long. As the intensity of the rain increased outside, you prepared yourself with determination for the forthcoming challenge. And so that's chapter one, folks. And now I was hoping to have a lot more people in here so we can have a conversation and do a Q&A session. However, since there is not a whole lot of you in here, one thing I am offering is that here is so the first person to order their copy will get this one. I will sign it and I will send it out to you. So if you scan the QR code, and this is only available for those who are here participating in the live stream launch. So anybody who gets their first order in will get this copy that I have in hand. If you're watching the replay, you can still scan the QR code and you will definitely get a copy and the bundle there. But you will not be getting this one that I have in hand. This one will be sent out to the person who makes their order tonight through the QR code for this live stream. And so, with that, wanted to actually also give in to maybe share some of the others. So I might save that for the next live stream launch. And I wish you folks a good evening. And I thank you for all being here tonight, helping me with this. Those of you who did show up. If you haven't ordered your signed copy yet, the QR code is still up. Remember, only 30 signed copies are available. And the first order tonight gets the original Don't Kiss Me Goodbye copy for the live stream. So if you get that in, great. If you're watching the replay and nobody has ordered this yet, you cannot scan the code on my phone with you. Okay. Laura, I will go ahead and just go ahead and let me know. If you scan the code after this, well, yeah, I don't know how that would work. I will send you the link. So Lorianne Hepner over on Facebook, she's going to get this copy tonight. If I will send you the link to go ahead and make that purchase happen. Actually, you can go to my Facebook and I have the link there on my Facebook profile. If you do that. But so, all right, folks, thank you for coming in. Thank you for joining in and have a great night. Be blessed.